Hello, this is the Money Algorithm. So basically today I just wanted to give you a quick update in what's happening regarding the RICO case. So basically this is an update summary of the lawsuit involving Drake and Adin Ross, who are essentially being sued by Stake. So basically just want to give you a breakdown of what's actually happening. You can actually clearly see that this lawsuit has been filed, brought by the Virginia residents LaShanwa Ridley and Tiffany Hines by and through their attorneys bring this action individually and on behalf of other similarly situated defendants against defendants Sweepstakes Limited, Stake, Aubrey Drake, Adin Ross, George Newham, collectively defendants, plaintiffs making the following allegations upon information and belief. So what's basically happening here is the consumer class action seeks to stop Stake, an illegal online gambling platform promoted by Drake, Ross, Nugent, and used by Drake, Ross, and Nugent to obscure transmissions of money in furtherance of their ongoing music botting campaigns, from continuing to prey upon consumers and to impose civil penalties on all defendants to deter future misconduct. So they basically just said that US storefront Stake has been operating as one of the largest, most profitable illegal online casinos since at least 2022. So we basically just pull up this data, Stake revenues, just to see what they have been doing thus far. So you can actually clearly see that Stake, via the founders Ed Craven, Bijan Tarani, founded and run stake.com. They've basically generated $4.7 billion in revenue in 2024, despite crypto gambling being unavailable in the United States, right? So you can clearly see that this is a money-making scheme, extremely profitable, and hence the reason why they have the opportunities to then bring on board well-known influential individuals such as Adin Ross, who's a live streamer, such as Drake, who's Hall of Fame, let's just say rapper stroke singer, and that's where they are. So Stake was created and marketed to US customers, which obviously is they're stating that it's illegal as a social casino. They're attempting to unsuccessfully to hide behind the facade of a safe and free gambling experience. So what they're trying to say is, you clearly know there's no gambling platform out there that is safe and secure. The ultimate aim of any gambling platform is essentially to make your money. The house always wins, right? How often does a gambling operator make money, right? So it depends on several factors. Does 85% of all gaming revenue come from free to play? Who lost in gambling? Why do 90% of gamers never? Who's the richest gambler? So basically it just clearly just shows you that it's a zero-sum game. The gambling platforms always win, irrespective of the situations that you hear that someone's made a fortune, but they tend to essentially give it back to the market anyway. So this is where we are. So, and also the other claim is that Stake.us offers nearly 2,000 casino games and permits players to place bets using specialized casino chips, offers so and so forth. So if you basically go down here, it says number 10, defendants Drake and Ross and Nugent have also made use of Stake, including through its US front Stake, to directly transfer money between and amongst themselves using Stake's tipping program, an unlimited and wholly unregulated money transmitter that appears to exist outside the oversight. So it seems that they have this tipping program, which is actually illegal in the US. And you can clearly see that this is clearly a predatory environment that people like Drake and Adin Ross has essentially promoted to their users. And they've basically made a lot of money from it, right? So let's take a look at the Stake stake, gambling, Drake partnership. Let's see their deal, actually. Deal. So, 100 million. Signed a deal with this online casino operator 2022 worth a reported 100 million a year. Right? Absolutely incredible. Let's take a look at Adin Ross. His deal, partnership deal. Speed, kick offered, sued. How much does stake pay Adin Ross? So he got almost 1 million weekly, right? So they're saying 1 million a week. This meant 4 million monthly. So you can see he's probably getting about 50 million a year based on that type, or based on this news, right? So clearly lucrative for these individuals. So if you basically scroll down, it says here, days before filing of this complaint, defendant Drake gave defendant Ross a $220,000 car as a gift. These tips and many others like them cycled among defendants Drake and Ross and known underwriting, botting and paid engagement campaigns. So basically it seems that they're using botting, which is clearly illegal. They have fake users as well to basically prop up those numbers to make it seem that there's a lot more viewers than there are. They have paid engagement campaigns. They're siphoning money in between each other to show that this is the amount of money that they're making from gambling, essentially attracting people, sucking people into the whole gambling and essentially losing money. Total, absolute frauds. So plaintiffs have been further damaged by false marketing. So false marketing manipulations taking place. So this is a massive indictment. This is extremely egregious, and we will basically just see how this funnels through. But this really just tells you, in a nutshell, don't look up to these individuals. These rappers, these performers, these entertainers, they don't have any interest in looking after you whatsoever. They're only looking at their back pocket. So this is something really to take into consideration. We'll monitor it to see what happens with this case, to see how this ends, whether this is settled out of court or not. Time will tell. If you like this type of information, us breaking down things related to money, investments, fraud, taxes, everything, please like, subscribe. We just started this channel and we want to grow this extremely quickly. Take care.